Welcome to Deep Thought. Thinking is key. Now, I know I hit on different subjects here. Sometimes I get into some metaphysics and, I throw out scenarios. But the bottom line of deep thought is for people to think. That's the bottom line, right? That's why even on occasions when someone might express a viewpoint different from mine, I'll leave it up. I will leave it up provided it doesn't attack anybody. Because if someone expresses a viewpoint, a particular viewpoint, and it's something they thought about, even if I don't see the point of view, at least they thought about it, right? The whole point of this channel is to get you to think. To think. I'm going to tell you how powerful thinking is. You can solve any single problem, any man-made problem you can solve by thinking. Just sitting back and thinking about it. Any man-made problem, even those created by nature, by thinking, you can react properly to it. For example, say a big tree falls on your house. That's an act of nature. But by simply thinking, you can handle it. You can say, oh, the tree fell on the house. Let me check on everybody. Let me call insurance. Let me call someone maybe, to get the tree off the house. You can think about your reaction to it. And that's just going through life. I don't care what it is. And when I say thinking, I mean like the logical, rational thing where you deliberately come up with an answer to a question. You're not just reacting. See, one of the problems that many people have in life is that they just simply react to something. They just get emotional. They are moved by their emotions. Indeed, when we talk about the theys, the elites, the people manipulating people, they do it through emotion. They do it through emotion. Whether it's a preacher or a politician, they do it through emotion. And indeed, that's how, corporate CEOs, marketing, advertising, most people, the overwhelming majority of people move through their emotions. Because if we had a critical mass of people who actually used their thinking faculty, a lot of stuff wouldn't happen. A lot of stuff wouldn't happen. And trust me, the economy would have to be totally different. Like say something magical happened and, some mystical being snapped their fingers and say, okay, everybody start thinking about stuff. Things will fall apart. A lot of stuff we do out here is through emotion. And let's be clear on it. There's nothing wrong with emotion. Emotion serves a purpose because emotion moves you. But every decision can't be made through emotion. Even if you have emotion off of something, you still have to think about it. If something was to harm a loved one, you would definitely have emotion over it. You would be upset. But to remedy the situation or to deal with it, you still have to think through it. You have to say, oh, wow, this happened to, wait, okay, let me breathe. Okay, this is the things I need to do. And that's the key. And that's in life. Everything, I don't care what it is. Sit back and think. I don't care what it is. Even in relationships, I'm known for talking about relationships, right? And yeah, there is the emotional aspect, which is important. There's the lust aspect, which is important. Right? But then I don't care what's going on, there has to be an aspect that's thinking about it. Right? There has to be an aspect that's thinking about it. Like you might meet someone you have an emotional connection with. And you might even lust them as well. And that's cool. But if you sit back and think about it, they might not be a long-term option for you. Because there's other factors. It's like, yeah, you can lust someone. That's just basic physicality. I can get along, right? Emotionally. But then, y'all might have a different consciousness. One of you might have an abundance consciousness. One of you might have a poverty consciousness. Y'all might have different activities that could ultimately lead to the downfall of a relationship. You still have to think. Like, say that you're a non-smoker. You're a non-smoker and you're a non-drinker. But this person that you lust and can even get along with, they are. It could cause a problem at some point because there's a fundamental thing. So you always have to think about it no matter what. You have to bring it in there. And just real quick, just talking about relationships, period. All of these factors have to be brought in. And maybe I'll do something on this side about that. But whatever the case, I don't care what it is. Think. Stop and think about it. And then you can solve it. Then you can come up with a plan, no matter what it is. It was like, think. Because I'm going to tell you what, that really is the fear of the theys. And I'll just say it straight up. Hey, heck, the theys can listen to it. It's like, hey, yeah, that Rom guy's smart. Yeah, we got to add something else to his file now. And you know what? Honestly, let's just be real. The theys can hear this podcast and they'll probably applaud and say, yeah, shoot, they might even mess with me. They might be like, hey, Rom, yeah, we heard that, man. Hey, good luck with that. These people don't want to think out here. So they react emotionally to things. Even men and women. Women supposed to react emotionally to stuff. Their main thing is emotion, but they still have a part of them that can think. But they need to exercise it more. And men, yeah, we're supposed to be more logical and rational, but increasingly many men are becoming more emotional, right? We're supposed to be, though. We can have that emotional kernel, though. We need to have it. We need to have a portion of us that has emotion, and there's nothing wrong with it. But our main thing is to think. Our main thing is to solve problems. And just going through life, I'm serious. I'm going to tell you what. There have been so many things, I can't even give you a number, that problems, issues that I was able to overcome by thinking. But just by thinking about it. Sitting back and say, oh, let me think about it. Right? And then because when you think about it, well, first to think, you got to be calm. You got to put the emotion to the side and look at everything without emotion, without feeling. Right? Just to the side, just to solve it. Yeah, you're going to feel a certain way about it, right? But you put the emotion to the side, at least for that moment. Solve the problem, then you can bring the emotion back in. You still feel bad about it. You got to process it and everything. But the solution, you thought about it. You have to sit back, and there's always a way. There's always a way, right? And that's just key. That's just key. And look, like I said, just going through life, a lot of people don't really think. They do stuff, and you're like, dude, what are you thinking? And these will be adults. These will be people making money and everything. Because, look, going through life, there are a lot of fences up. People don't really have to think. They just have to follow. They don't have to think about anything. They can go to a job and just do something. They don't have to think about what they're doing. That's just a reality. They don't have to think. So they don't. All right? They don't have to think. But thinking is key. If you listen to this channel, my main thing is get you to think about it. That's why I've actually said there's nothing wrong with reading about and seeing things that go against your belief system, because it causes you to think about it. And you'll probably, after you think about it, you might agree with it, or you might disagree with it even more. But if you thought about it, at least you thought about it. And that's all that you can do. But it actually helps you just to think. So that's all I have for now. I want y'all to think on. That's why a lot of times I might end the video, I might just say, think on this. All right? Thinking is key. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace and blessings.